We're on. We're live, baby. I
Shit, you made
think
shit. You made it. Yeah, it says 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds in.
if
You
I can
made it
find the
in.
music,
I'm
there it
just
is.
okay. Is the music playing? I can't hear it, but okay. Da, 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 da. You got your baseball cap on. Shit, you're ready for action, baby.
That's right.
It don't get any better than that. Be Father of the Year, taking off with the Lila sisters.
Got
Uh,
paint all over my shirt. My painting shirt.
oh, the painting shirt, huh? Hey, we ought to paint our beards dark or something like
I
that.
need to. I haven't done it in a while.
Oh,
All right, here we are. 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, 2025
this is the greatest 4th of July we've had this year so far.
so far.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm just sitting there looking. I went out and bought some baseball cards the other day. Got a bunch of Dave Parker cards and
Holy
Pete Rose
shit.
cards. Then Dave Parker just died. Pete Rose dead. Dave Parker, Pete Rose, R.I.P. R.I.P. Parker going in the Hall of Fame in like a month, so he couldn't make it. And of course, now they're going to put Pete in the Hall of Fame after he died. He told him he didn't want in the Hall of Fame after he died. Do it while he was alive, or F you. Audio video is good. 70QQ, our tech guys said we're good to go. Rip.
Okay, well that's all that matters. I was just thinking back of the 1952 baseball cards I had when they went off in my flood the first time. How much they would be worth. I remember I had Jackie Robinson, Pee Wee Reese, about all Roy Campanella, you name it. And yeah, I remember I got him. I traded him with Rob Hertz. He used to go to St. Ambrose. He there till he was like 13 years old, and he moved off to Fullerton, California uh, later on. But we swapped baseball cards and stuff. So
Man, you
wow.
probably sit on a gold mine there, Rip.
Well, I was not anymore. they be uh, TBG. They be gone.
Man, the old basement flood, huh?
Yeah, just the number one. Then we had the number two. So what the hell, right?
Mm. Pussy Monster in the house today.
Is that a new guy?
He was in, I think, a couple times now.
Now,
Last couple weeks.
how was that officially spelled?
Puzzzy.
Boozy.
Pussy.
Boozy. Okay.
Monsta. Monsta.
Okay. Hell, it don't get any better than that.
Pinion Haver said he remembered to sneak in this week. Have a happy and safe 4th of July.
Yeah, he had his alarm set, and then he sneaks in and drops in, and then he'll drop back out. But it's he's opinion and Haver. So what the hell, right?
Frank in the house. Frank's Pickleberry House said, hello, Ripper, Chopper, and Chooper.
And okay, whatever the last one is, I have no idea what it was.
What was it? We talked about it our entire show last week. Remember
Well,
they called me Chooper? You've
oh
already
yeah,
forgotten last week?
yeah. Well, hell, I'm
Way to put it over, Rip.
well, whatever.
Chooper. I have no idea what he's talking about. We talked about it for an hour last Friday. Chooper. Remember, it was all Chooper. I'm Chooper now. Remember?
Yeah, but I forgot.
Obviously, you don't remember.
Well, now that you reminded me, I do.
Mm. Greg Smith in the house in green said he's ready to catch the show live. Awesome. Welcome, Greg.
Yeah, okay.
Big George in the house said it's hotter than the 4th of July in Georgia. It's hotter than the 4th of July in Indiana as well. Tom Montgomery in the house. 70QQ. Patrick Young, time for class. Class time, baby. Ibzan Arroyo in the house from Atlantic City. Been a little while. Talion in the house. Clayton in green in the house. Shane Parks in green in the house. All the top stars here today, Rip.
What about Screaming Baboon? Is he here?
No. Nope. He's not here right now.
Well, they're winning his brownie points.
Maybe he's shooting off fireworks right now. It's nighttime there, isn't it?
Probably. No, let's see. It's
3 in the morning or something.
whatever it is. It ain't on your time. That's all that matters.
What's been going on, Rip? Got any news, updates? Got anything happening? Got big
Oh,
4th of July plans? Gonna go do some fireworks tonight? What you got?
well, I hadn't planned on any 4th of July fireworks or anything.
Barbecuing? Are you barbecuing today? Going boating? What are you doing? Probably going boating, right? Barbecue. You got the grill going. Got the
Yeah,
smoker going right now.
yeah, I got the Dollar Tree, the $1.25 dinner put in. I'll have that and some another pound of cookies. So that'll be a healthy day. So it don't get any better than that.
What else?
Hey,
Anything else?
oh, I got all kinds of shit going on here.
Anything you? Oh, you got notes. I hear the notes in the background.
Yeah, it's one piece of paper. I just have a hard time for me to see them. Hey, today.
I love you show up with notes, man. It's awesome.
Hey, it's well, I gotta, you might just clunk over and take a nap for a while, so I gotta cover it with something. Me and you, we're in excellent physical condition. We're in great health. Hey, today's Ricky Todd Morton's birthday. Ricky Todd Morton. We went out to the big tour with Dale TNT Man, going out to Nevada, wherever else we went, Arizona. We had 2 girls, 2 midgets, me and Ricky Todd Morton, and then Dale TNT Man against this other youngster under the hood. So we had the big 8-man card. So we'd have we'd all have the 4. Then we had the 4 singles and then come back in the battle royale. We had that for like 2 straight weeks. We went to North Dakota, South Dakota, Arkansas, Nevada, and what was the other one I just said? And New Mexico, whatever the hell it was. But anyway, that was an enlightening trip. And the highlight.
Todd Morton's real name was Ricky?
No, it was Todd Stratton. But I called him Ricky Todd.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I always called him Ricky Todd because he was the bogus kayfabe stepson or whatever we did of Ricky Morton. So this is before Ricky Morton's kid was in the business. So he was Ricky Todd Stratton Morton. So I just called him RT, Ricky Todd. Wow. The fiery little baby face used to have the long blonde hair.
Oh yeah, I remember him. I saw him.
I think he's got the shaved head gimmick now.
So we got a lot. You're making a lot of noise over there, Rip. I don't know what you got going on over there. You got noisemakers or something over there?
No, I ain't got. Well, sometimes that's coming from your place too and stuff. No, there's.
Oh, blame it on me. Okay, all right.
Well, when there's nobody. Only in the person in the room. There's no windows are open. There's no noise outside. I don't know what.
Maybe it's your stomach we're hearing. Possibly. Then I don't know. Can you see the screen right now?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is. It looks like a.
So little Lilas went to the Fever game last night, the Indiana Fever game, and here's the end of the game. I had it recorded on TV. There goes Lexi Hall leaving the arena. She stops. Look, there's little Lilas getting an autograph on TV.
Wow.
How about that?
That's the greatest ever.
Yeah. Makes a beeline. Lila said she was yelling at her.
Wow, that's awesome.
Stops and gets the autograph right there on TV, baby.
The Lilas girls on fire, probably nationwide. It's probably on all the media outlets all over the world about the Lilas sisters.
That's right. She got Caitlin Clark's autograph last night as well. So,
okay, now she's still hurt, right?
Yeah, she didn't play, but she was there signing autographs. So
did they win?
Yeah, just showed it right there, 81-54, I think it said.
Okay, well, I can't see that far. That's awesome.
Let's see.
Hey, when's the All-Star game there? About 2 weeks or something?
I don't know. Like women's All-Star game?
Yeah, it's going to be played in Indianapolis.
I have no idea. Let's see. We got some super chats in here. Shane Parks, $2. How did you get booked in Portland?
Well, in the wrestling business, it's all who you know. So, oh, you just disappeared, Lila. So
I'm here. You're talking, Rip. You don't need to see me, bro.
oh, okay. Well, Lanny Poffo was working out there in Portland. So I was living with Randy Savage in Nashville at the time, and Lanny got me booked out there. So after we'd done our ICW tapes at Channel 41 in Louisville, we did 10 of them at WDRB Studios. I was working outlaw shows all around Nashville, Kentucky, stuff like that. And then Lanny got me booked out in Portland. So I was out in Portland in 79, and then I went out for a couple weeks just to go out there in 1980. Let's see, but Piper was out there, Rick Martel was out there, the Bushwhackers were out there. I got to be Playboy Buddy Rose's tag team partner. Colonel De Beers, Ed Wiskowski was out there. Johnny Mantell was out there. Iceman King Parsons was out there. So it was a lot of top stars. And I got to experience Don Owen. I got to experience the legendary Elton Owen. So going out to Portland was, it was a trip. It was fun. Met a lot of people out there. Had a great time. But that's how I got out there. Lanny Poffo booked me out there.
You got to go check out our video on the Portland territory if you haven't seen it yet. If you're new to the channel or newer to the channel and haven't seen our catalog of the videos we used to make, Rip did one on Portland. Hot item. Go to our videos. Look at the Portland one. It's awesome. Screamy Baboon in the house, Rip. $2. Hi, Rop and Chuper.
Okay.
So, Rop and Chuper, you look sexier than a midget.
Now, is he talking about Chuper or is he talking about Rop? You know,
I would say Rop is probably sexier than a midget, would be my guess.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, well, there are a lot of attractive little darling Dagmar, little Roger, little Farmer John, little Road Warrior. A lot of top-notch, good-looking little people.
Was there ever a midget wrestler named Big something instead of Little?
Oh, let's see. That's good. If not, we ought to invent one.
Yeah. Big George, $1.99 super sticker. Were you around the second Skull Murphy?
No. If you're talking about the Skull Murphy from used to wrestle in North Carolina, and he had the shaved head and the eyes that looked like he was a real monster and everything. But there was a Skull Murphy in England years ago. Before that, I'm thinking, or maybe he stole the shaved head guy with the funky looking eyes. Maybe he stole that. I didn't know who officially was the first Skull Murphy or who was officially the second Skull Murphy. That's a big question, George. You ought to dig into your phone there and find out who was the original Skull Murphy. Because I remember when I was wrestling in England with Regal, and Skull Murphy was on the card, so it didn't get any better than that.
Did you watch the video yet of Monty and the Pharaoh that we sent you, Rip?
Yeah.
Did you know they were? Sounds like they're fans of what's his name? Did you see that? He's going to be on their show. He said to stop playing the Rip Rogers clip.
No, we'll play it all we want to. He tried to destroy my business on his own accord.
No, he told them to stop playing the Rip Rogers clip. Monty and Pharaoh were playing that clip of you on their show, and he told them to stop playing it.
Well, if they want to listen to him, that's their business. He's got so much pull. he didn't do nothing but to try and destroy our business on nationwide television by exposing it. So,
What was his name?
the Continental Lover,
I'm drawing a blank.
Eddie Mansfield.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Mansfield.
Yeah, he was a top-notch talent, as Jimmy Valiant would say, and weightlifter. Not
Weightlifter. So I guess they had said he had claimed, I guess, because they sounds like they really defend him on some stuff, is the way I gathered the little bit I watched. I actually really enjoyed Eric Embry on there. I liked Eric Embry. I thought he was good.
Me and Eric go way back.
Yeah, he said he liked you. He said I like Rip Rogers, and they're like, see, he likes Rip Rogers. So I don't know if one of them, Monty or Pharaoh, maybe didn't. Maybe I'm speculating on that, but they said he just whatever. But I really liked Eric Embry. So they said that Eddie Mansfield supposedly exposed the business to help he wanted to help the boys.
Shit, he just wanted to get his face on TV and be an asshole is all he wanted to goddamn do. How would that help anybody taking what he took and cutting himself on nationwide fucking television?
And Eric Embry said he did nothing but kill us, hurt us. All of us out there trying to make money. He hurt.
So no, I ain't buying it. No.
Yeah. All right. What else we got in here? Looking for questions. Maybe I'm missing some questions. Heavy D in the house in green. Hadn't seen him in a while. Maybe last week. I can't remember. Did you ever work with the Rougeaus?
I worked a program about 8 weeks with Jacques Rougeau in Southeastern Wrestling in 1984. And that's when he was, I called Arn Anderson, nicknamed him the Canadian Milk Dud. So, and then I remember we was in Nashville when he was first starting, and he was Jimmy Rougeau there. And then I remember he rode with Angelo Poffo, the miser, in his Mercedes, and he thought the Mercedes was a cheap car. So I remember about that. I said, "God damn, Jimmy." Well, I didn't know it was Jock then, but he was 17 years old. But he had an older brother, Raymond, who was a big star early in Montreal. So anyway, he's still hanging around, still making money. So what the hell?
Yeah, we got a pretty good video up. I can't remember what that would have been. Southeast? Would you say Southeastern or Continental? The one I got, we did a show or you did a thing on, and with the loaded boxing glove or whatever. I know we got a video on that on our channel.
Yeah, that's Southeastern.
Go check out our Southeastern video, Heavy D. We got a lot of the Jacques Rougeau footage on there, if you haven't seen it yet. Ever wrestle Killer Carl Cox? Shane Parks in green wants to know.
No, but I was on cards with Killer Carl Krupp. Killer Carl, Triple K, Killer Carl Cox. He was a badass heel years ago, and he was in Georgia a lot and down south. But I remember Killer Carl Krupp come in, KKK, and his real name was George Bomberg, and he had the monocle he would have on, and he would do the goose step like he was a Nazi Germany, and he come in and brought into the European belt. So Robert Fuller just took it from him and said, "No, we're not using that. We're not in Europe." So that old Krupp was going, Jesus Christ. But anyway, Killer Carl Krupp, he was a legend in his own mind. The legendary George Momberg. Don't get any better than that.
Hollering the Hammer, Rip says that he's going to be on the Monty show next week, and he told them to stop the Rip clip too. They aren't listening to anyone.
Well, they must have a lot of brains or whatever. I don't know. They're over with me.
Wasn't the Rip clip? You said something good about it, the show, right? I wonder why So what? Why does Hollering the Hammer want him to stop showing it? Is it because Hollering the Hammer doesn't like you? Is that why? You have any
Don't
idea?
have a clue. Now, do you think I know who Hollering with Hammer is?
Well, he's going to be on the Monty Show, and you watch the Monty Show, so I figured you knew who he was.
No, I didn't. If he was, I didn't. I guess I didn't pay any attention, so I don't know.
Well, he apparently doesn't like your clip either. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Screaming Baboon says that Monty and Pharaoh idiots are so fake. I never watched them. Fake idiot suck-ups.
Who said that?
Your boy, Screaming Baboon.
Well, at least SB's on here doing something besides posed his big bicep.
Hollering the Hammer also says that Pharaoh married Wahoo's wife, and Wahoo's wife used to be with Eddie Mansfield.
Well, Wahoo was married about 12 times, so what the hell, right?
So he's working with then Wahoo's wife, who used to be with Mansfield, and he married them. So it almost sounds like a Romer deal, where he's buddies with all the exes. It sounds like.
Well, it might be. It could be Romer with Spike Huber's ex, or Romer with Romer's ex, or with the Dick the Bruiser Jr. You know, she was all just intertwined with all the wrestling stars. But I think Romer would be the winner, because I think he's like the human hammer, so he's so physically well endowed. But he can't help that, you know. It's just natural.
Screaming Baboon interrupts this segment with a $2 super chat. Rop, who was the lightest and easiest you ever worked?
Oh, probably Brad Armstrong. Yeah, Brad Armstrong. He was right on there. But I like how my name is now Rop. I think it's the Rop and Chop show. The Rop and Chop.
It could be Rop and Chop, but now it's Rop and Choop.
Yeah, Rop and Choop. But I won't remember next week anyway, so what the hell?
Yeah, you won't.
I know it.
Heavy D said Rene Dupree debuted as Rene Rougeau. I don't remember that. Do you remember him being Rene Rougeau?
Well, he didn't start. He started working for his dad, I'm thinking.
But like when he was 14 or something.
Or something like that. But I don't know if it was there, if he went to Montreal for a while. I don't know, whatever it was. But I remember he was Rene Rougeau. I had 4 names, so, and then
I read something wrong. Sorry, Rip. I got to apologize to Hollering the Hammer here. He said I misread his comment. I'm a Rip guy all day. We asked Monty to take down the Eddie Mansfield stuff, and they refused. Okay, that makes more sense.
Well, now you're over more with me, Hollering the Hammer. But no, you're allowed to like whoever you want to, and anybody out there in looking at my phone, whatever we're on YouTube. If you like Eddie Mansfield, you're allowed to cheer, boo. If you like somebody, you do. If you don't, you don't. I just didn't like it because to all the guys in the business, he stuck it up our ass by cutting himself with a blade on nationwide fucking television like a fucking asshole. And how is that going to help anything in our fucking business while we're trying to make a goddamn living, and he's out fucking destroying the business? So fuck him.
Hey, that's better. You haven't really went off in a while. I'm glad.
I know. Well, I'm trying to.
It's about time, man.
The 30 seconds is that I was looking at some old ones, and man, I used to really throw some F-bombs out there. But I
used to cuss every other word.
Yeah, you're right. But that was Randy Savage's and Ole's fault, because they did it to me, and I was just trying to take it in from the best, right?
Yeah, but you can have your rants every once in a while. We need those. We need those on the show.
All right.
All right, I apologize, hollering HWH. I apologize there for.
Well, I'll apologize too, because if you're putting us over and put everybody over, you're allowed to like whoever you want.
Well, he's saying take down Eddie Mansfield. He's not sticking up for Eddie Mansfield.
Oh, okay.
Big George, $1.99. What's a good name for Mighty Joe's new pet snake? New pet snake name, Rip.
George.
George.
Yeah.
Big George.
Yeah, it's Big George because he's got a big snake, just like George has got that big snake between his scotches, the Scotch eggs legs. So
Did George send you pictures?
no pictures of what of his
Dick
snake.
pics. Yeah, you knew he had a
Well,
big snake. I just wondered how you knew.
well, we had the secret camera on him that one time, and he had the super bulge down there.
Shane Parks in Green wants to know ever wrestle any of the Von Erichs? I think we've heard the one story. Chris Adams or Eric Embry? I don't think we've ever heard anything about Chris Adams. Eric Embry.
Okay. Eric Embry used to work with like when we worked for Nick Goulas, me and Randy and Eric Embry, and he'd worked for Dale Mann just like we were too. And I remember we were in a field somewhere. We had a show somewhere, and then he was, that was his last night with Dale Mann, and he was going off to Vancouver. He got booked out there by Gene Kaniski, and that was his first time of being on the road. So it was I think we worked a Don Pruitt show in Eastern Kentucky or whatever the hell it was. But that's when he was going to go out to Vancouver, and he made a name for himself. Was a great booker in Dallas, so he did quite well for himself.
I think Eric Embry said on that show he he was in ICW. Do you remember him in ICW?
He might have been in the first tapings with us. I can't remember. That was so long ago. That was March 13, 1979. Did remember that though, didn't I?
Yeah. All right, before we get to this big $5 Screaming Baboon super chat, while I'm thinking about it, I got to ask, do you remember back in the day in Seymour where you could call the time and temperature and it would say Jackson County Bank, time, this, temperature, this? Do you remember the phone number for that?
522, I think 1345.
1345?
I think so.
Well, you said that awful quick, like you really knew.
Well, all of a sudden that just popped into my head.
So you think it was I thought somebody asked me that this morning. I thought it was a 522 number. They said they thought it was 811. I was like, I don't think there's any way it's 811. That's way too close to 911 anyway. Kids would be dialing 911 all day instead of. I think it was 522 as well, but I don't. Man, I was hoping when you said it, it would have clicked. You know, I would have been like, yeah, that's it. But I don't know that 1345. I mean, you might be right. You said it awful fast.
Well, that's all of a sudden I hadn't heard that thing in 50 years or whatever, right? It seems like.
I just remember sitting around the house all the time, mom or dad. Hey, call the time and temperature.
Hey, and they used to have a thing with let's see, Tim Hinkle's house. He was the preacher at the Emmanuel Lutheran, and he used to have a little thing you would call. God, this is before you were born. Reverend Mac. Reverend Mac.
I remember we bought Reverend Mac's car.
Okay, Reverend Mac. There would be a number, and he would do a little Bible thing or whatever it was, and we'd call that all the time. Why that popped in my head, don't have a clue.
Yeah, we bought Reverend Mac's like 1980 Oldsmobile. It was a huge car. I bought it for my brother, I believe. He wanted a big old car when he got his license, and we found like a ring in it, and we took it. Reverend Mac was dead already, and we took the ring back to his widow. I remember.
Wow.
Anyway, Screaming Baboon, $5 super chat. Do a watch along with Rip of Mansfield saying on the RF video about him saying he saved the wrestling business by exposing it. Did it for the boys.
No, I'm not going to watch that shit. No, it's total fucking bullshit. He's trying to get himself over. He was mad at the business. He hated the business. So it was obviously when he did that, how could it help the business? All you're doing is getting on TV and exposing the business. So you're hurting the business. Anyway.
I think that's a no, Screaming Baboon. He's saying,
yeah.
I think Rip's saying no, he's not doing it.
No.
But he wants more raging with Rip Rogers. So I think he's just trying to get you to rage some more on Eddie Mansfield.
Okay, so Chopper and Chipper or whatever. Well, we could be doing that. Yeah, raging with Rip Rogers. Okay, I
Yeah,
could have
that'd
a
be a great segment.
yeah have a heart attack right here in the bed and roll over.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
raging with Rip Rogers. I like it.
hey, Jimmy called me yesterday.
Jimmy, Jimmy,
Paradise
Paradise Jimmy. Okay, yeah,
calls
that's
me
what.
for an hour. You know, he's big time being over with Tanea, the big producer at NXT. I had to congratulate him because he's completed 8 years of work there.
8 years, huh?
Yeah, he's been there 8 years now. And in more congratulations to the one of the old Richmond bunch, of Chris Silvio and Timmy Danger, ladies and gentlemen. Timmy Danger is now the CEO of his own company in Richmond, Virginia, a wrestling company. But he wanted to have the belt too. So
Mm.
Jimmy said that's a little bit strong, Timmy. Why don't you just be the CEO and not and give the belt to somebody else? Let's let the belt elevate somebody else, not the CEO. But anyway, that's another day with phone calls, talking with bullshitting with Paradise, calling me what time it was. Can't remember how long it was on there. Can't remember, but just another day in the life of.
I wish he'd call me sometime, man. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Well, you do know he's been there 8 years now, and he's
I know
still.
that now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've hung out with him the last couple years when we go to Orlando, but we're not going to Orlando this year. I don't think, at least not this summer. So I won't see Jimmy. I usually send him an Uber to his place and over to the place I'm staying, and we drink some beers out by the pool. Last year we met at Disney or somewhere, not Disney, somewhere. We met out to eat some Disney theme place or
Mm-hmm.
something. I can't remember what it was. Ask Rip about his experience with the Moondogs. Did you have experience with the Moondogs, Rip?
Well, there were so many Moondogs. I was with one of the original Moondogs in the Maritimes in 1970. Let's see, is that 79? No, not the 78. Uh, Maybe it was 88. The original Moondog. I see that he was the Canadian. I can't think of which one it was. And then we was always ribbing him. Uh, and he would forget shit like me. I'll hit his name later. There's been so many goddamn Moondogs.
What about the ones from Memphis, like the what I consider the original? I'm sure they're not, but Rex and Spot or whatever. It was
Larry Book, Larry Booker was Larry Latham, right?
Larry Latham, and was it that Collie guy? Was he the other
Randy
one?
Colley. Randy Colley was real talented. He was always a whole lot of different characters.
Did you ever wrestle those guys? That was like the Wild when they first got there. Those two, anyway, always had the big bones and always had all
Yeah,
the blood matches. And
yeah, they had a good run there.
did you ever wrestle them?
No, I was always a baby. I was always a heel.
Is Chris Adams as big a dick as people say? Italian wants to know.
Um, I just talked with him. I remember he is on a bunch of shows I was on with Bill Watts. The Dallas guys would come in and work for Watts a lot of time, and he was just cordial to me. I always had a great dark side, but well, hell, who don't have a dark side? And you got to remember, most of these guys are just being in character of whatever their character is. So whatever you hear about everybody, don't mean it's true, or they're ribbing somebody, or just somebody wants to bury somebody, or whatever. But the interactions I had with him, he was always nice, and that's all I can go by.
His name was Gentleman, wasn't it?
Yeah, gentleman Chris Adams.
Well, he couldn't have been too mean if his name
Not
was
not if he
Gentleman.
was a gentleman, unless the gentleman he was called a gentleman because he was a really a flaming nutcase, and it was just the opposite of what he was. You know. Now he was married to one of Steve Austin's exes, right?
Yeah, I think maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think something like that. Somebody, Pussy Monster says, could you talk about Rene Dupree and his dad?
Well, I worked for his dad in the Maritimes, which is Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, in 78, 88, 90, and 97. When I was there in 97, Scott Diamore was there. Bad News Allen was there, who was Bad News Brown. Edge and Christian was there, and Renee rode with me every day, as I was like the road boss. Bulldog Brown was going to be the road boss, but he croaked right before, so he couldn't go. So I had to take up that job. But I would Renee would come. He was 13 years old, and he'd sell all the pictures. So I set up the picture table for him, and his dad had every picture counted, so I wouldn't confiscate any money from him or anything. So if like there was 100 pictures, we had to get back $200 if they were all sold. But I would make them $3, so we make an extra dollar profit. So me and Renee would split the difference, and Kayfabe's dad. So
you told me to do that with Romer's pictures. I remember I went to some show, set up a gimmick table, and then Romer brought his pictures over to me and said, "Hey, kid, can you sell these for me?" And you said, "What? How much did he want for those?" I told you, and you said, "Make them all $1 or more." You said, "Did he offer you any money to do that?" And I said, "No." And you said, "Well, make him $1 more than what he said, and you keep $1 for every picture you sell."
Right. That's the way it should be.
Thought that was awesome.
Now you learn to do that with all the things, right?
Yeah. I'm going to try to share this picture here if I can. I don't know if you can see it very well or not, but this popped up in my memories the other day. The big July 11th. I don't know what year this was. The Tokyo Deathmatch Battle Royal rip.
Shit.
Look at that big picture. Von Lila's like headlining. You probably can't see it, but this little picture here is Dylan Bostic. There's Paradise. There's Rob Terry. There's the Boogeyman, Colt Cabana, Cliff Compton.
Where was
all
this
the
show
top
at?
stars?
Where was it at?
Sabu, right there, Sabu. And look who got the big picture on there.
You do.
Yeah, the monster picture.
Yeah, it was the monster arm.
It's the monster arm, baby.
Now,
so that was
who's
Taylor Hendricks on the card. There's Rebel Tanea. That was Susio's show. He ran at the strip club. It was at a strip club. It was an outdoor show at a strip club.
Yeah, he usually runs them in bars. Yeah, Susio, when he runs the shows, are usually in the bars. Bar
This
Wars.
was a Tokyo Deathmatch Battle Royal. You were supposed to bring a weapon. I didn't bring a weapon. I was actually I was late getting there because I was so hungover. I almost didn't go, and then I went. It just popped up, so I didn't remember Dylan even being there. So I sent the text to Dylan. I said, "Did you actually go to this show?" And he said, "Yeah, I was." He said, "I was in it." I was like, "Man, I don't remember you at all." But I didn't really know him. I don't think that well back then either. This was years ago.
Well,
and I remember I got there, and Rob Terry hands me. You remember Rob Terry, the big, huge, jacked up guy? He hands me like a paper, like with everybody when they go in, when they get eliminated, who eliminates them, and all this stuff. And I took it and I just ripped it in shreds and just tossed it. I said, I'm not going to sit here and try to remember all this. Who's going in, when, and doing? I said, can you not just tell us the final four? I mean,
yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, that's what DDP gave a script to Kurt Hennig to look at. Kurt just fucking crumpled it up, tossed it back to him.
I've never seen a script for a battle royal besides who's in, the finish.
Yeah, heels just always have one more heel in the ring than baby faces, so you got an advantage.
So then they had this big ramp all built up. So they had a screen behind them where they played video, the countdown, because it was like the Royal Rumble, but you can come down the ramp with music and bring your weapon. And the ring's outside. There was a bar next to the ring. So I just sat at the bar until it was my number. And I'm sitting there with Susio because he booked himself against Sabu. So he wasn't in the Tokyo death match. He was in the main event versus Sabu, of course. And so I'm sitting there drinking a beer with him at the bar, and it's my number. So I'm getting introduced, and the spotlight's on the ramp. And I turn around to Susie. I said, "Oh, well, that's me." And he goes, "You're going in right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're not coming down the ramp?" I said, yeah, "Apparently not."
Yes, not.
And I just walk right up to the ring. There's Boogeyman getting a limit. Worms all over the place. It was all just slippery, and it was terrible. But I just tried to avoid getting hit by anything that I could. So
sounds like the greatest show on that night in that town.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Was anybody besides you actually drunk in the ring?
No, I don't think so. Either no or everybody was. I'm not really sure.
You can't remember yourself.
I was already so hungover. I had to just start drinking again.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ray Jazz gave me a call the other night. Now, Ray Jazz, I got his T-shirt on right here.
Yeah.
He's been in California the last 2 months, and he just worked Dave Marquez's TV against Scorpio Sky the other day when he was calling me. And then, but he was from Damian Adams School in New Jersey, and he was the former NYU All-American wrestler, or whatever, blah blah blah. But me and him, we talked to shit. So Ray Jazz was over, and but he's in California right now. He's training for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and with Josh Barnett, because Ray Jazz, he's a big super shooter, former NCAA All-American. So I told him I mentioned him on the show, so he liked that. So I tell him, you'll be over. I'll put you way over. So he's over. So I got my allotted time in. So what the hell?
Hey, it's your show, Rip. You can put over whoever you want. You always kiss Ray Jazz's ass on here. I always say I would whoop him, and you always say he's an All-American. He would kill you. And I always say, fuck Ray Jazz. I'd whoop his ass. If he ever showed up here, I'd whoop Ray Jazz's ass.
Well,
did you not just see me on that Tokyo Battle Royal poster? Did you not see I was the main attraction on there? How big my picture was? Oh, I just made Rip mad. Started talking about his boy Ray Jazz, saying bad things about him. Made Rip mad. He had to get off the show. Now, last week when Rip left the show real quickly, he got back on real quick.
I got back on real quick. Of course, some asshole, some dumbass.
It's probably Ray Jazz.
No, it was some scam call or whatever it is. They had to fucking call me. I knew.
I thought you hung up because I was talking shit about your boy Ray Jazz.
No, I proudly wear his T-shirt right here. Of course, he gave it to me. So what the hell, right? He's over. Hey, we ought to have the big confrontation with Ray Jazz and Von Lilas.
Yeah, I mean, he's never showed up here. I think he's scared.
Yeah, he went from New Jersey to California. Now he's going to go back to Indianapolis. Maybe he could do it.
Yeah. Look at your other boy, Screaming Baboon. What a joke. Trooper got a bigger picture than Sabu.
Well, SB's on it. You know, what can you say? I looked at that thing, and all I saw was this big 6'6" guy.
Right, but he's saying what a joke. Screaming Baboon just doesn't know the legend of Von Lilas down here in southern Indiana, I guess.
No, he doesn't. No. Well, he's busy being in another country, so, you know, it's a little bit different, you know. When you're SB, Screaming Baboon, in Australia, saying A, mate, etc., stuff like that. Don't get any better than that.
Big George said, Vaughn, what height were you billed as? I think 6'5". Rip maybe put me a little taller every once in a while, but I really wasn't.
Well, if I had WWE, I'd have you fucking 6'11 and a half.
Like Jimbo Uno. I sent you that. Did you see that video I sent you the other day? That Facebook advertisement that was Jimbo Uno in it doing something.
Oh yeah, well, I see him in a lot of things.
He's in so many Facebook ads. It's so funny.
Yeah,
he's like a doctor in one and a testosterone guy in one, and
yeah, he's over.
He's in all these videos. there was an insurance company that tried to work with me and my wife, and they were trying to get us to do all this stuff and do ads to them. And they sent me a video as like their um people putting them over. What's the doc or God? What's the word I'm looking for? When people put them over, they're
I know, recommending or whatever.
They're still, you know. And one of them was Jimbo Uno. Like, oh, this company worked for my, and I was like, so I sent him a message and I said, nice try. One of the guys that's testimonies. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
One of your testimonials is a freaking actor that I used to wrestle with. So I know he's not out selling insurance. It was Jimbo Uno saying about how many insurance leads this company got him and all this stuff. What a rib. How about that, though? What are the chances that these guys are trying to get me and my wife to work with them? And the person they send me as a testimony, I know from wrestling, and it's all a rib. I sent Jimbo Uno a message through Facebook, and I said, hey, do you sell insurance? And he said, no. I said, do you ever work for this company? He said, yeah, I did ads for him. Like, I was like, okay, yeah.
The Japanese Giant on fire, baby. Of course, he faced Chile in your hometown, right?
Well, he faced me in Chile. It was a 6-man.
Yeah. Okay.
6-man. Yeah, that's when you had him cutting promos. Japanese Giant coming to Beach Grove, 7 foot. He's standing on something, and then he gets there, and my brother's like this much taller than him. Everybody's like, I thought he was 7 foot. He's like 6'2". My brother's 6'9", just towers over this Japanese Giant that we advertised as like. But
we shot up. We shot up to make him look bigger, right?
yeah. Well, he was standing on something. Like the old Andre interviews.
Yeah, when Vince would be holding that thing straight up in the microphone because Andre was on a goddamn box.
Yeah.
Oh man, it don't get any better than that. Hey Joe Coleman informed me the world record for masturbation by males is 47 in a 24-hour period. Just out of the blue, he sent that to me.
Was it him?
No, he didn't have. It wasn't the winner, but he just wanted to inform me of that.
Wow.
So I thought that'd be good for just a little trivia question.
Good notes, Rick.
That.
Good notes. Screaming Baboon said that would be cool watching Ray Jazz beating the hell out of Trooper live on here. I think I would win, Screaming Baboon. So I don't think you'd get your wish there, boy. I think I'd take him.
Oh man, that'd be at least a semi. Well, you'd be going over if it was in Muncie.
Sure. Yeah. That's the only way I'm wrestling Ray Jazz, if it's in Muncie.
Yeah, Muncie. Well, you've got that home court advantage, is what
Undefeated. It is. Or Seymour. Yeah. I'd take him in Seymour too.
Yeah. Hey, I had the one show in Seymour. You probably went there when I was a kid, but I lost 2 straight.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me.
Well, I just wanted to let people know that it was real. You know, if it was unreal, I'd have just been the champ. I'd have just won, right?
All right, back to wrestling, I guess. Shane Parks in Green says, Rip, in the wrestling magazines, was there ever an article written about you or Miss Brenda? Well, I can answer. One article was written about him because my dad wrote it in Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Yeah, King Carl. Yeah, hey, a lot of them things in the magazines, guys, they would make up their own stories and send them to the editor or whatever, and all of a sudden they'd be in a wrestling magazine. That's like when they had the Pro Wrestling Top 500, there were some bogus people that were made up, and I made up a little bit of them, but what the hell, right?
Yeah, I did. There was definitely some articles about Rip because I've got some of them still, but some of them were written by my dad, so I know that too. There was the one magazine, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, in the in the index or whatever it is. What's the front where it lists all the page numbers and article numbers? One of them was like Ox Baker, written by Carl Von Dilligan, and the very next one was whatever, written by Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
so it was
that's right.
Carl Von Dilligan, Paul Heyman, right next to each other for the articles.
Sort of like two kings.
Exactly. Let's see. Table of contents. Thanks there, his machine. I can't think sometimes. All right, any more questions? I got 10 minutes, man. 1:00 sharp. I'm getting off here. It is the 4th of July. I'm hitting the road. Oh, that reminds me, Rip, there will be no show next week. I'll be in Maryland next week, Rip.
Oh, well, Maryland ain't got a thing where you can hook it up and do it like we're doing it now.
Well, I'm on a family vacation. I'm not going to do
Oh
a
my God!
show on
1
a
hour for a family
I'm
vacation.
not going to go to Maryland on a family vacation and plan my Friday around wrestling with Rip Rogers, Ask Rip Rogers Live. Now, if you want to contact the vet or Timmy Baltimore or somebody else,
I would know how to do that. So
well, you just ask them to just say, hey, will you do the show?
Hmm.
And then I can maybe give him the login or the link. I think Vet's he's already like part. I think I have him on here already. I think it's like
yeah,
a person.
well, yeah. I asked Vet to do it.
Oh, you asked Vet to do it. This is called Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Ask Rip Rogers Live.
Who's the producer, director?
You can ask Vet to do it.
Who's
I'm
the
taking a
producer?
vacation. I'm on vacation.
Oh.
I'm taking a vacation. All you gotta do is ask him. He might be even watching the show. Who knows? Vet, you out there?
No, if he's already been in, he's in and out within a minute.
Any stories on Walter Johnson? Walter was a football player that got into wrestling. He competed in ICW.
Yeah, I worked against Walter Johnson. Randy worked against him. I remember he was working for Nick Goulas, but he used to play for the Cleveland Browns. Big Walter Johnson, and he was a great athlete. He had a big name. He wasn't a very good wrestler, but we worked around him and had the greatest matches against Walter Johnson on those chosen nights. Didn't get any better than that. Getting in the ring, the big old NFL superstar and everything. That was awesome.
Frank says, who the hell vacations in Maryland? I do, Frank. Von Lilas does, and little Lila Lilas and Arya Lilas. We got, I don't know, some beach. It's supposed to be one of the best beaches in the U.S. I don't know what it is. Some beach that's on fire, baby. What the hell just happened? Are we still on this show? I just got a studio instability issues.
I don't know. It says live 52, 38, 39, 52.
I just got a notification. So if we shut down on my end, says the latest versions of some browsers seem to have introduced a conflict that is causing studio instabilities. Temporary workaround suggesting turning off the features while work on a fix. Our engineers are actively trying to, I don't know, something. But you can still see me and hear me, I guess, right?
Yeah, see you and hear you. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Whatever it is, it's the old whatever.
Okay.
Oh, in the power slap thing that Sin Bodie's running, Hollywood Haley J was on there.
Yeah.
She was stealing the show. I think she got beat, but she did. She was slapping the shit and being over. But one of the guys Sin's teaching, he won 10 grand on a thing on that slap thing. So some of them guys, it got knocked silly. Boom, couple of them just boom hit and they just dropped the goddamn ground and everything. So and my ear's still ringing from Bobby Eaton hit me when he was 17 years old. So I don't think I want to be in the slap thing.
So did Hollywood win any of them, or she just get on and lose, or you just do it once? Is it just one time? I've never watched it.
Well, Sin runs the thing, so if you're training under him and stuff, you got a lot of dibs of being on there. So the one guy that won 10 grand, him and his brother, they wrestled tag team at the Future Stars of Wrestling. So Sin's doing good with that. He's making a little jingle. Hollywood Haley was in and out, so we might have her back on the store to get some stories from her.
That's what I was asking. You didn't really answer the question. Did she just do it once? Like she just got on and lost, or do you do more than
I
once?
wasn't there.
Okay, well you said your answer was Sin's got some jingle and $10,000 and
Yeah,
okay. Well,
he's running the thing.
just want to know if she was on just one time or not. No.
Well, if you get beat, then you're not on anymore.
Mm.
So I guess she went on and got beat. Of course, I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, so she can get back on there, or she might go in there and do it under a hood. You never know.
It's like Kevin Owens getting chopped with a shirt on, going under the hood for a slap across the face.
Yeah, God, he's had a hell of a run there. How long has he been there?
I don't know. They're all millionaires now, though.
I know it. And the thing about it is, just think if he lost 1 pound a week, he wouldn't be fat all his life.
Well, he doesn't need to be. They're still paying him millions to be fat. So why he can be fat and wear a T-shirt and get paid millions? So why does he need to do anything different?
Well, I'm just a different mindset. I wouldn't want to be fat, feeling fat, looking fat, and being a potential heart attack at any age because you're fat.
Mm. Yeah, I saw something where Roman Reigns, I don't know if it was true or not, had wrestled like 15 matches in the last 3 years or some shit like that. Something crazy.
I knew it was real low.
Making millions.
Well, if they're the ones that want to pay him that and they can afford it, that's on them.
Well, yeah, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that's just how it is. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean at the Dollar Tree, and best thing that ever happened to him was getting cut from football.
Pot Ripper Jr. How's your health, Choop? I don't know, man. Not doing too bad. Been driving a little bit, but still dizzy as hell. Got a lot more tests coming up. Been doing 2 different therapies. Better than it was, but still not normal. Will be almost 1 year here, July 21st. Be 1 year, man. Almost a year from when I almost fainted on live TV here, Wrestling with Rip Rogers, when I tried to get Rip to call 911. He was in between 911. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Finally, yes. Almost a year ago, Rip.
That was the greatest. How time flies.
It's the greatest show ever, man. And then the whole thing was being recorded, still live. I told you to hit the screen, hit in stream, and then you can watch it back. You can see your finger. You're touching the screen with your finger instead of using the mouse and clicking in stream.
Yeah. Okay. What's a mouse?
This, you click in stream. Instead, you were touching the screen. So the whole thing. So I finally get up and I was like, shit, you've been recording this whole thing.
Well, I'm still upset about Angel Reese not making the All-Star team.
Oh, is this in your notes?
Yeah.
I love how you just incorporate your notes like you're just.
I just wanted to make sure I was touching on different things, you know.
So she didn't make the All-Star team, huh?
Oh, no, she's mad too.
She's mad about it?
Yeah. Hell, she's leading the league in rebounds.
You got to pay her when you say that, you know.
No, I don't. I ain't going to.
Ooh, good one by Greg Smith. He says that you said Holly Hood could go under the hood. He said, where did it go? She's going to wear the Holly hood. Get it?
Yeah, I get it now. Okay.
Going to wear the Holly hood. Like it.
Shit. Greg, he got second place in Comedian of the Year, so what the hell, right? That was a good one.
Who got first place? You?
I don't. I no. It's not in my notes. I don't know.
Big George said Haley J is Holly Swag on Wow Wrestling.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, that's where Rachel's at. That's where Ray Lynn. She's got she's sort of a boss there.
Mm.
And then George's ex-girlfriend of his former fiance, the one he lived in sin with. I don't want to mention her name, but she's the head producer there at Wow. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about that?
I'll let him. His pants are probably getting tighter right now just thinking about her.
70 QQ Vaughn, what is it? I've been having dizzy type feeling for a month now. I thought it was science fiction. I don't know. Nobody knows, man. I've had every test under the moon. Nobody has a clue. So I'm starting to see some holistic voodoo shit people now to figure it out. Real doctors don't care. They just want to give you pills, more pills. Take the pills, pay the money. That's what they want.
Well, that's why every disease is. They don't want to cure it. They want to just prolong it. So you got to buy those prescriptions and everything. Hell yeah.
Yep. All right, Ripper. It is that time of.
Well, you got to go. You got to go to Maryland.
Well, I'm going to the Kings today. I'm going to the Kings today and tomorrow, and Maryland Monday through the following Monday. Actually, we're staying in Pittsburgh Monday night. Going to Maryland, staying 4 or 5 nights there, hitting, I think, New Jersey and Virginia and somewhere else, and then coming back, and I don't know if we're staying in Pittsburgh again or somewhere. Shane Parks, thanks for the super chat today. Screaming Baboon, Big George, Screaming Baboon, Big George, and Screaming Baboon. Thanks for the super chats today. No show next week unless we get the vet or Timmy Baltimore or somewhere to somebody. Oh, Pot Ripper Jr., forgot yours. Hey, Screaming Baboon said Lyme disease. Interesting enough, I'm getting tested for that next week, Screaming Baboon. You might be onto something there. Getting tested for Lyme disease. So have a happy 4th of July. Rip, I think, is going to go live today, barbecuing and out by the pool and fireworks. You're doing a big live on that today, right, Rip?
I think I am.
Barbecuing with Rip Rogers, I think, is going to be on today.
Yeah, Ben Hameen showed me some big steaks he was having.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got the music on right now, Rip.
Okay, I can't hear it, so I'll just bebop and I'll do this, that, boom, boom, this and that.
All right, happy 4th of July.
Greatest 4th of July this year.
And I'm going to kick Ray Jazz's ass first time I see him.
Ooh. I'll have the video. I'll get ready.